Nnena was a young girl who lived in a small village on the outskirts of a great river. The river was the lifeblood of the village, providing fish for food, water for drinking and bathing, and a means of transportation. She was a happy child who loved spending time near the river, watching the fish swim, listening to the soothing sound of the water flowing, and watch fishermen bring in their catch for the day. Nnena's mother was a kind and beautiful woman who loved her daughter more than anything in the world. They would spend hours together working in the fields, cooking meals, singing and dance together, and take long walks by the river sharing stories. Nnenna's father was also very fond of her and would take her to the river to fish. However, tragedy struck one day when Nnenna's mother went to the river to fetch some water. She was carrying a heavy pot on her head when she slipped and fell into the river. The current was strong and she was swept away and drowned before anyone could save her. Nnena and her father were devastated by the loss of her mother, and she cried for days. Her father was unable to cope with the loss of his wife and died soon after due to the shock. With no one left to take care of her, Nnena's kind uncle Shifobi took her in as his own. However, life was not easy for Nnena in her new home. Her uncle's wife Auntie Ifeoma and first daughter Iberi treated her poorly, especially when her uncle was away on business trips. But Nnena found solace in Shifobi's second daughter Uzo, who treated her kindly and became her only friend. Together they would go to the river, play and sing. Nnena would always sing with her little beautiful voice, and Uzo would always clap and dance along. Uzo, let's sing my mother's favorite song, little Nnena said one day while they were at the river. Sure, which one? Uzo asked. Olumi by Tosi Martins, Nnena replied. They both sang in perfect harmony, their voices carrying across the river. It was a beautiful moment. Despite the occasional moments of happiness, life remained difficult for little Nnena. She was made to do all the hard chores in the house, with Uzo sneaking to help her with some. Her days were filled with scrubbing floors, washing clothes, and cooking meals for the family. Auntie Ifeoma would often scold her for the slightest mistake and would hit her if she didn't do things exactly the way she wanted them done. Nnena was growing out of all her clothes, but whenever her uncle sent money to buy new clothes for all of them, his wife refused to get Nnena any new clothes, and Uzo had to give her old ones to Nnena. Things took a turn for the worse when Nnena's uncle died in an accident, and her aunt blamed her for bringing misfortune to their home. I knew it was a mistake to take someone else's child, Nnena's aunt would say. You are nothing but a curse to this family. Nnena was severely maltreated by her aunt and first daughter, making Uzo sad because she didn't know how to stop them. As the years went by and despite the difficult circumstances, Nnena continued to grow up beautifully, with her melodious voice becoming enchanting with age, and was the envy of a lot of girls who wished they were half as beautiful as she was. This made her aunt's first daughter Iberi very jealous and insecure because Nnena's beauty and voice attracted attention. She was mean to Nnena and always tried to make her life more miserable. Nnena's only solace was by the river, where she felt close to her mother. She would go there every day to sing, cry, and talk to her mother's spirit. One day, a rich man's son named Emeka came to the village for vacation. He had gone to the riverside to cool off and was immediately captivated by Nnena's voice when he heard her singing at the river while fetching water. Who's that singing? Emeka asked Chiamaka, one of the girls who had come to play at the riverside with her friends. That's Nnena, Chiamaka replied. She comes here every day to sing. She has a beautiful voice, doesn't she? Emeka was smitten and began visiting the river every day to hear Nnena sing. Your voice is so beautiful. Will you sing for me every day? He asked Nnena. She was startled at first but smiled shyly and said, Yes, I will. They started spending time together at the river, and he would listen to her sing while she would tell him stories about her life. Nnena didn't know who he was, but she enjoyed his company. The rich man's son also had friends who came with him on vacation, and Uzo caught the eye of one of them. They started talking and hanging out together. They all became good friends and would often spend time together at the river. Meanwhile, Iberi, the first daughter of Nnena's aunt, got pregnant for a couple who pretended to be rich and promised her marriage. She later learned that he had also impregnated other girls in the village and was nowhere to be found. How could you be so foolish? Auntie Ifeoma scolded her daughter. I'm sorry, Mama. she replied, tears streaming down her face. As time passed, Emeka fell in love with Nnena and decided to ask her out. He confessed his love to her and she was surprised but happy. They started dating and he would come to the river to see her every day. Uzo also started dating the friend of the rich man's son and they were happy together. Auntie Ifeoma didn't like that Nnena was dating a rich man's son and made life difficult for her. She also tried restraining her from leaving the house, but Nnena stood her ground and despite the drama continued their relationship. Emeka proposed to Nnena and she said yes. They got married and Nnena's life changed for the better. She went on to become a famous singer and her music brought joy to many people. Uzo also found love and she and her boyfriend got married too. Auntie Ifeoma and Ebere regretted their actions and asked for forgiveness and they reconciled. Nnena never forgot the river where she spent her childhood and lost her mother, but she was happy that it was also the place where she found love and happiness. She would often go there with her husband and sing. This is the end of the story. Now to the moral lessons. The story of Nnena and the river teaches us several valuable moral lessons. The story of little Nnena's tragic life teaches us that life can be unpredictable and full of ups and downs. We never know what tomorrow may bring, and we must learn to cherish the moments we have with the people we love. The story also highlights the importance of family, kindness, and friendship. Little Nnena's mother and father were a huge part of her life, and their love and guidance helped shape her into the person she became. When she lost them, her kind uncle and Uzo became her family and support system. Without their kindness and love, she may have been lost. The story also shows us that life is not always fair. Little Nnena faced so much tragedy and hardship in her young life, but she never gave up. She kept singing and her beautiful voice eventually led her to find love and happiness and as well brought joy to many people. Lastly, the story reminds us to be careful about the people we trust and the decisions we make. Nnena's auntie's first daughter Ebere made poor decisions that led to her getting pregnant for a man who deceived her. It is important to be cautious and thoughtful in our decisions to avoid negative consequences. Overall, the moral lesson of the story is that even in the face of tragedy and hardship, we must learn to persevere and find joy in the little things. We must also learn to cherish the people in our lives, show kindness to others, and be grateful for what we have. And this is the end of today's video. Thank you for watching through to the end, and please do not forget to like, subscribe, comment and share with your friends and family. See you on our next video. Bye.